What's up, fellow victims of my shaky cam? I'm asking Santa to bring me a new setup for YouTubing for 2023. It is I, the OGGM, your number one Scrooge, here at the 4th day of November 2022. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's about 64 degrees and cold here at Site B, and cold means holidays. Holidays means holiday shopping. So it has been requested that I make a suggested holiday shopping guides for the gamer in your life. This comes to us from Needs More Cowbell, I believe was the individual who suggested this, but let me double check before I give the person the wrong name. Hold on. Should have done this before. Yeah, Needs More Cowbell, one of the guys on my YouTube, has suggested, hey, instead of my family giving me socks this year, why don't you make a list of suggested gifts for the role-playing gamer, board gamer in your life for the holidays? So that's what we're doing. So we've got a couple different categories that we're going to look at. Suggest some adventures, gaming accessories, campaign settings, best books, gifts under $25, best sci-fi RPG products, best game apparel, gifts for the tech nerd. What would you give a friend or family member for the holidays? There's too much product out there for gamers to keep track of, and normie friends and family often have no idea what to give the gamer in their life other than a gift certificate. That in itself would be a great guide. If you're going to give a gift certificate, where would you buy it from? So let's start with something like 5 to 10 adventures. What adventures would I recommend for the tabletop role-playing gamer in your life to buy for the holidays? Well, what system are we talking about? We're probably talking D&D, but I don't know. It could be Warhammer. It could be superheroes. It could be Call of Cthulhu, the number one selling role-playing game in the world. It could be 5th edition. It could be 4th edition. So, yeah, that's hard. So what would we're assuming D&D, right? For the sake of argument. If I was going to recommend my top 5 tabletop role-playing game adventures, Dungeons & Dragons first, and then other genres second. So my top 5 Dungeons & Dragons role-playing adventures. Number 1, Keep on the Borderlands. The Goodman Games 5e reproduction of it is excellent. The original is the godfather of all, point crawl, hex crawls, stuff like that. It's the original sandbox campaign. So number 1, suggested gift guide for the tabletop role-playing gamer is the Keep on the Borderlands reissue from Goodman Games, because it features both the original versions and the conversion to 5e plus new stuff. Links to these will be all down below. Number 2, if I was going to recommend a tabletop role-playing game module to the gamer in your life, if there's a must-have other than Keep on the Borderland, it's Tomb of Horrors. Obviously, yes, Tomb of Horrors. Tomb of Horrors has been converted to 5e. It is the second most iconic, Dungeons & Dragons adventures ever. Often imitated, never duplicated. The godfather of all Funhouse Dungeons, Tomb of Horrors. Number 3, if I'm going to recommend a tabletop role-playing game, Dungeons & Dragons product adventure, I'm going to go over to Adventure Paths. Whether they be 5e Adventure Paths, whether they be Paizo Adventure Paths, bang for your buck, Adventure Paths are the best way to go, because you get an entire campaign. And most of them have been collected into collections by right now, and they're easy to switch back and forth. You can easily convert Pathfinder Adventure Paths to your D&D system of choice, because armor class, hit points, stats are pretty much the same, right? From OGL, so 3, 3.5, 4, well, not 4, because 4 is so completely different. 3, 3.5, 5, older editions you can easily convert. So yeah, Adventure Paths are probably the way to go. Number 1, Keep on the Borderland from Goodman Games. Number 2, Tomb of Horrors. It's on drive-thru. Number 3, Adventure Paths from Pathfinder or any other campaign out there. So number 3, if I was going to recommend one adventure path from Pathfinder, I would go Kingmaker. Kingmaker, bottom line, probably one of, if not the best adventure path Paizo created. Perfect for any fantasy setting. It takes the idea of Keep on the Borderlands / a wilderness crawl / hex crawl and just builds on that whole idea of both metagaming, the campaign building / kingdom building, and the idea of here's your chunk of land, keep it safe, then explore, solve the mysteries of this area, help the inhabitants out, build a kingdom, but understand that there are competing kingdoms who might work with you or against you. So yeah, Kingmaker would be number 3. Number 4, Adventure Pass. You gotta go to the original Rise of the Rune Lords, how it all began, the game that put Paizo on the map, the adventure path that knocked D&D from the top of the board. It's gotta be Rise of the Rune Lord. And 5, if I'm gonna recommend 5 adventures, fantasy, D&D related, to, if you've got a gamer in your life, and whether they're a beginner, middle, and it's Minds of Fendelven. Minds of Fendelven, the adventure that came with the first beginner's box from Wizards of the Coast for 5e, considered by many to be the best 5e adventure, bar none. I mean, even to today, even though I think it's, Tomb of Annihilation, pretty much everybody else thinks Minds of Fendelven, that box set, is the number 1 5e adventure that Wizards of the Coast has ever created. So yeah, number 1 on my gift list, links down below, Goodman Games, Keep on the Borderland. Number 2 on my gift list for the gamer in your life, a copy of Tomb of Horrors. Number 3, Kingmaker Adventure Path from Paizo. Number 4, Rise of the Rune Lords from Paizo. And number 5, the original beginners box set from Wizards of the Coast for 5e with Minds of Fendelven in it. That is my top 5 recommendations for the holidays for the tabletop role-playing game or D&D / fantasy fan in your life. Now let's go other genres. If I'm going to recommend superheroes, Crisis by Crusader Citadel from Villains and Vigilantes, Jeff D. Jack Herman, the original adventure for Villains and Vigilantes. You can find it online for free. Every time I start a superhero role-playing game, I run some version of Crisis at Crusader Citadel. It is just a great superhero adventure. It's got everything you need to start a superhero adventure campaign. So if I'm going to recommend a superhero role-playing game adventure, it's going to be that. Now, moving on to systems I don't know as well as much about. If I'm going to recommend an adventure for other systems stuff, I can't, because I don't really know about other systems besides superheroes and fantasy. I could go, what is the other games I really know? If you're doing Dungeon Crawl Classic, Mutant Crawl Classics, any one of the funnels that have been made for Dungeon Crawl Classic, Mutant Crawl Classics are perfect for the guys in your life. It's a perfect way to start Dungeon Crawl Classic, Mutant Crawl Classic campaigns, and the idea of funnels can easily be evolved into other systems. If you're not familiar with what a funnel is, basically it is a dungeon. You start at the beginning, you're playing 0 level characters. You get 2 to 6 characters, and they just die. And you just keep going. Whoever survives keeps going, and whoever walks out at the end, whatever character walks out at the end, out of those 2, 4, 6 characters that you started the funnel with, is your first level character, and they are awesome because they've earned everything they got in the funnel, and the horrors of the funnel has made them, I'm first level now and I survived that. So yeah. I'm not experienced enough to suggest other things for other systems other than superheroes and fantasy. So yeah, because those are my 2 top genres. If I'm going to go space, I would go Star Wars stuff. If I'm going to go not Star Wars stuff, I can't really recommend. I can, so I could, for the D&D gamer in your life, I'd recommend Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classic funnels. For the superhero role-playing gamer in your life, I'd recommend Crisis at Crusader Citadel. And for the tabletop role-playing gamer, Pathfinder, D&D player, my top 5 recommendations, again, are Keep on the Borderlands from Goodman Games, link down below. Tomb of Horrors, link down below. Kingmaker Adventure Path, link down below. Rise of the Rune Lords Adventure Path, link down below. And Minds of Fendelven from Wizards of the Coast, link down below. Hopefully you appreciate this holiday guide. We'll be doing this every day. So that was my 5-10 adventures I recommend to get the gamer in your life. Tomorrow we will do best gaming accessories. If you appreciate this, let me know. If you don't appreciate this and think I'm wasting your time, let me know. What are your suggestions? What are your top 5 recommendations for the gamer in your life for adventures. And it could be any genre. Obviously, yeah. I mean, not just fantasy, but superheroes, Old West, science fiction, horror, whatever. Palladium, Pathfinder, Savage Worlds, Call of Cthulhu. Powered by the Apocalypse. If you've got a top 5 list, let me know and we can talk about it tomorrow. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Have a happy Friday. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will talk to you later. Get off my land and get me a new camera setup for Christmas. Support me.